I've been instigating on the whole. Anybody who casts a ballot for the AP Awards is a sucker, including me, because we're not getting paid for it. We're working on a story that is just a little bit kooky, and it falls right into the category of things that are right up their alley. And I don't want to go too far down the path. It's not some big Watergate thing, but something weird happened with the votes this year. I texted you a little bit about it last night.
Yeah.
Something very weird happened with the voting that caused one of the ballots of the 50 voters to be completely removed and rejected after the fact. And I noticed it yesterday because J.K. Dobbins visiting with the Broncos today.
Yeah.
I remembered he finished somewhere in the top 5 of the Comeback Player of the Year award, and I couldn't remember which spot. So Google, find the AP story that has all the breakdown, and this is the year they put everybody's ballot out there, and that's the story I found. And just at the very bottom, there was a comment about how one of the ballots was rejected. It was inadvertent. It was some weasel words that I don't mean that in a pejorative way, but it was just like some perfunctory boilerplate.
Yeah, right.
One of the ballots was gone, and it's like, what? Somebody's ballot?
Damn, we're stealing ballots even for the AP votes?
The ballot just got, like somebody did their free work and they just decided to remove the ballot. And I asked my staff if they've seen this or heard about it. And we started to do a little research and started to think about it. My theory is this. And again, I don't want to go too far down this path. My theory currently, the working hypothesis is that they accidentally double counted one person's ballot.
Gotcha.
And overlooked another person's ballot. And when they realized that what they had done was attribute to one person the entirety of someone else's ballot, they just dropped that one out.
Gotcha.
Dropped it out.
Gotcha.
And I believe that's what happened. I'm waiting for an official answer from the Associated Press. And it's another reason why they're probably having conversations in their main offices. Why did you give this guy a vote?
Exactly
right. This guy in the panel? Now, this guy's asking a bunch of questions. Like, what the hell? We thought by giving him a vote, he would leave us alone and not actually ask us questions about the things we do and how we do them. But I think somebody made a mistake. And, hey, that's fine. See, this is a great case study, and I tell my son this all the time. And for anybody out there in the younger generation, now that I'm going to be 60 in 3 days, it's time to impart some wisdom. If you up, okay, in any setting.
Sorry, Liverpool.
Sorry, yeah, I don't even need to apologize now. But if you make a mistake, if you step in a pile of something that came out of Christopher Moltisanti's pants, own up to it. Don't hide it. Don't obscure it. Don't try to come up with some scheme like that turns into a sitcom episode like something on Everybody Loves Raymond where he's trying to hide something from Deborah. See, I'm doing the weave today. A certain resident of a certain building in Washington would be very proud. I'm doing a weave, but this one actually has a point, unlike other weaves. Don't do any of that. Own up to it. Own up to it because, number one, you're going to carry around that fear that it's going to blow up in your face. Number two, there's a pretty good chance that it will. And number three, you'll realize that they appreciate it when you say you made a mistake. They appreciate it when you say there's a problem that we need to address. If you try to hide it, it only makes it worse. And when they find out, they're never going to trust you again. They're going to look at you differently. Whereas the other side of the extreme is if you own up to it, they'll say, this is somebody we can trust.
Right.
This is somebody who isn't going to try to pull crap.
Yeah, sure.
And I know there's a temptation. I screwed up. What do? I got to protect myself. No, you screwed up. You got to fix it. Whatever it is, you got the duty to whatever organization, school, work, wherever, you own up to it and you fix it.
Well said.
I say all that because I have a feeling somebody made a mistake.
Right.
And they thought they could
kind of sneak it
swipe
by.
it under the rug, as a wise man often says.
Yep.
I'm never giving you a hard time about that. Sweep it under the rug. Sweep it, not swipe it under the rug.
I'm just getting my hand and swiping it, though. I'm not getting the broom out and sweeping, all right? So I'm just swiping with the hand.
You know what you're doing? You know what you do? You don't use a broom. You use the bun. You use the bun from the burger.
You're funny. Thank you.
So,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right. Just
more weave.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. So anyway, I want to be on one hand, I want to be friendly and charitable to the folks who have invited us to do free work for their awards. But on the other hand, hey, man, it's a journalistic outfit. Like, they aren't above questions. They aren't above scrutiny. And these awards are a big deal. If there's some flaw in the machine that causes someone's ballot to be rejected and they say it didn't affect the outcome, still, one of the 50 ballots got removed from consideration after the fact. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
it's kind of a big deal.
Agreed.
And we're going to find out why.
Yeah,
one way or the other, we're going to find out why.
Hopefully they can fix it. We always like transparency, like you're talking about. Own up to mistakes. It does make you more trustworthy.
Pete, you're wrong. Pete, where you're wasting your time typing, you're wrong.
And if we had like, yeah, I mean, imagine if it was a tight race somewhere and all that. You know, to your point with the importance. I mean, people's contracts, big money, things like that are tied to these all-pro teams. So that's where, you know, you'd hope they could do it the right way going forward and make sure all the checks and balances are working out the right way.
I'll give you a little more. The person whose ballot was rejected, I reached out to, and the person said, yeah, you know, I noticed something was off because they said I voted for this person for MVP and I voted for somebody else for MVP.
Wow.
And that's how it all started.
Wow. And you're not going to tell us who that is?
Dum.
We gotta wait till Monday. Tease till Monday.
No. I'm probably gonna post it later today.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna post it later today. I'm just waiting for the AP to get back to me, and I've given them more than 12 hours. My first text from yesterday afternoon was ignored, and then I sent another one a few hours later. And I'm thinking, anytime anybody does that, this gets back to the whole own up to it. Anytime you ignore me, it makes me think. This goes one of two ways, and the way that doesn't look good for you is probably the way it goes, or I would hear from you.
Yeah.
Finally, I got a response, and it was being passed along to the appropriate person, and I'm supposed to get an answer. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to hound them for an answer. I have a feeling that when we land the plane on this, it's going to be somebody screwed up and counted one ballot twice and attributed one person's ballot to someone else's, and they realized it after the fact, and their solution was, let's just wipe out the ballot of the person who ended up being on the wrong end of this accident.
Yeah, right.
And their ballot just got taken away. And I think they need to explain it, because if you look at it, and like, there's just some, like, what did the person do that caused their ballot to be rejected? It's a reflection on them that shouldn't be there. Because that was my first thought when we figured out whose ballot got rejected. It was yours, by the way. But when I found out whose ballot got rejected, it wasn't. When I found out, I'm thinking, man, what did he, like, did this person do something? Like, what do we not know? Like, this can go a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, sure.
But I think it was a mistake, a clerical error by the Associated Press that resulted in someone else's votes being counted twice and this person's vote not being counted at all. So they just removed the second ballot and left it at that. They could have just retabulated, just put the vote in. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, right.
They didn't change anything, just put the votes back in.
Yeah, I hear you there. All right, well, let me know how it goes, Inspector Gadget. Let me know when you get to the bottom of the case here with that one.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.